Ben, Laura, the reason I have you here today is
This is an intervention.
I've done something stupid once again.
Oh.
Which is I've been spending a lot of time by myself on the internet making videos and whatnot, such writing
What
scripts.
are you doing?
And I got this email a few weeks ago from someone I'd never heard of before. And it was this email that looked like it went immediately into my spam, which is never a good sign. And it was from this dude called Carlos. It was Carlos at Podstatus.
What?
This is the email address.
Podstatus.
And it was like, yo, how's it going? It didn't say yo. But it was like, hey, how's it going? I was writing to let you know that your podcast, Art for Artists, is ranked 187th in the arts category in Russia.
You sent me this, and you were like, we're trending in Russia. And I was like, sounds about right. And I never thought about it again.
So it's pretty late, and I'm recording this because I just got this email from someone I just don't recognize at all. And I was reading it on my phone, and I sent it to my friend James, and I was like, dude, this is kind of funny. I sent it to my old co-host Ben, and I was like, man, it's pretty funny. But I'm gonna just show you the email. So it comes in at I guess this evening sometime. It's like 9:30. It's currently 10. And I'm pretty tired, and I've had a few beers, and I'm just lying on the couch, and my phone dings, and I get this email, and it's from Carlos, and it's to one of my email addresses. It's the subject title is Art for Artists is ranking very well in Russia. Now, Art for Artists, for those of you who don't know, is my recently concluded podcast that was on the air for I think we in total about 7 years or something like that. And we just concluded it. We've just wrapped it up, and we're currently in the process of transitioning it to a different brand and a different show. And I get this email. So that's why I was interested, because I was like, well, the show's over. So I kind of, it's the show's done, guys. But I get this email from Carlos at 9:32 on a Wednesday evening. And it says, hello, how's it going? Hope all is well. It's 2020, man. All is not well. I have some cool information that might interest you. So my interest is immediately piqued. I love cool information. He says, your podcast, Art for Artists, has good performance in some rankings. Brackets, last 30 days. Some rankings, okay. And then, and in a list, for some reason, it says, position 187 in the category Arts, bracket Russia. This data is provided by podstatus.com. Happy podcasting, Carlos from Podstatus. Now, I'm going to read you the GDPR compliance information they include in the footer of this particular email. Now, the reason I think this is significant is because this obviously dropped into my spam folder because of the number of links and the particular the phrasing. So Gmail does this thing where they can identify when something feels non-authentic sometimes. But maybe most interestingly to me is this disclaimer. I'm just going to read it to you. Now, I haven't visited podstatus.com. That's why I've started recording, because I need to know if this is a scam or not, because it reads very much like a scam. But the reason I think it's a scam is just this compliance information. So let me hit you with this. It says GDPR, and this is like the footer. So this is after his signature, right? It says GDPR compliance information. Controller : Carlos Tenor, in brackets, Podstatus. Purpose: to provide podcast owners information about podcast rankings. Legitimation, which is that a word? I don't think it's a word. Legitimation. I don't think it is. Fuck, it is. Legitimation is the act of providing legitimacy. Oh, that's the verb. That's the current doing. That's the doing verb for it. Legitimation. Okay, I feel very delegitimated. Your data will not be transferred onto third parties. Well, maybe onto them, but to them, perhaps. Possibility of international transfer. Yes. What does that mean? Of me? Are you transferring me internationally? Rights. You can object to our processing or request access, rectification or deletion of your data, origin of the data, public podcast feed. More information at this link. I'm going to mouse over this. podstatus.com/mail-privacy. You will not receive any further communications of this kind. It's the hashtag, right? Okay, so I'm going to click these links in a second, which is a scary thought, but because it's probably a scam. This isn't a plug. I'm just letting you know. I've got peer block turned on. I'm going to have to blur that out because it contains well, that screen doesn't. But peer block is a piece of technology you should have on your computer. It basically blocks unauthorized access. You can do a bunch of stuff like tweak your port settings and stuff like that. Anyway, I've turned peer block on before I even open the email, because on my iPhone, the chances of that being compromised by something in an email is probably pretty low because iOS is such a contained ecosystem. I'm more concerned about my dumb Windows machine. So I guess I'm going to click on podstatus.com. This feels very risky. I'm going to go it first. Podstatus. Okay. Interesting. They're on Capterra. Okay, we're going to check that out first to see if they're real. Podstatus is a solution to monitor reviews and rankings for podcasts from Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Podchaser, and iVoox? Okay, that last one sounds made up. Best for podcasters in 175 countries. If you're from the 176th, you better bloody watch out, mate. This isn't for you. Contact details. Tenor Okay, this is who makes it. It says located in Spain. I thought it was located in Russia. Oh, no, they're just telling me I perform well in Russia. Okay. Podcast pricing. Podstatus pricing? This is a real product. They're on my job is... Capterra is like a real platform. What is... it's like an aggregate... Okay. Shopper approved services. Any company that sells is... all right. Whatever. Those are alternatives. Okay. Yeah. I'm with you. All right. I didn't immediately click on the link because there was a link to like Podstatus, right? So I didn't click on it.
You should always just Google it and go through Google.
So I Googled it and I found it on Capterra, and it seemed like there was no reviews, which is never a good sign, because the first thing I would do if I was running an internet scam is create a Capterra account and create a few fake email addresses and make some fake reviews.
Right.
No fake reviews means it's probably not real, or at the very least, they haven't put any effort into making it seem real, which got me immediately suspicious. So I did what I always do, which is go down the rabbit hole. And this was at like 11 p.m. on a Sunday.
Oh no, that's a school night, David.
It's a school night. So I'm like nursing this whiskey, being like, what is going on? So naturally, my next step is exactly what you said. I Googled it, found it on Capterra, and I noticed that the name of the owner, or like on Capterra, you can put like a parent company listing on the page. So you can say like, oh, this is owned by. So you could put a product on that's like Google Sheets is owned by Google, and you can click through to see what else Google has made. So I looked at the owner, and the owner was Tenor Software, Tenor. Oh, it is Spanish. Okay. Something application of. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Stand by. I'm assuming that it's gonna say that yeah. So they're just like they make apps. What? Find us in the App Store. Wait, what? Applications for iOS and that's not an answer to what you do though. See, this feels more like a scam than ever. So I clicked through to see what else they'd made, and it eventually dumped me out to a website that was in Spanish.
Wait.
Yep.
Okay. How do they have Russian stats? Anyway.
It gets weirder. So the whole thing is in Spanish, and I jump into Google Translate, and I pop that bad boy into Google Translate. Yeah. And it turns out the thing that Tenor Software makes that is listed on the App Store is a cancer tracking software product that you input like the dates and times when the cancer is identified, and it tracks and provides you
insight into when you should go get retested once you're cancer-free?
Establishing the extent of a cancer at the time of diagnosis is essential to know the prognosis of the disease and plan its treatment. The TNM staging system is widely used and valid. What? Application allows to quickly stage cancer that affects the head and neck area. What are you talking about? What? What are these screens? What? I am so confused. I thought you guys made podcast stuff. I was saying stuff about a tumor. What? I'm baffled by it. What? Okay. If I click on Tenor, do they have other apps? It's just that. What? That's so weird. Okay, let's Google them. Tenor software. Let's see. Crunchbase, company profile and funding. This is good. Okay. Is a mobile app. Yeah, we know. Oh, so nothing. Great. It's for profit and it's active. That's fucking sick. Oh, okay. Mobile app metrics by Apptopia, which also sounds made up. Tenor Software has 395 monthly app down. That is very low. I suppose if the only app they have is a cancer app, that actually... Well, hang on. I Am Lost, GeoGuessr, and ORLT. Okay, well, the TMN is the cancer one. What's the I Am Lost thing? I am lost, can you help me? Look around and try to find where you are. Wonderful panoramic views of points manually selected for you. You can move through the views and return to the original point. You know whence you are, go to the map and indicate the point. You will see as you approach. This is like, I'm lost and my map app isn't working. What? Hang on, what is this? What's the text on my screen say? Oh, I pasted the... I'm gonna show you the full screen of the video capture software, but I've accidentally copied the words applicazione para iOS e Mac OS onto the... You'll see what that's embarrassing, I am pretty sure. This is really weird. This is an odd turn of events. It's Apptopia. I'm gonna click on that. This is a fucking rabbit hole, boys. Wait. It's on the iPhone. Hang on. Let me see if it's on my App Store. App Store. This could be quite the turn of events. It's called I Am Lost. Where am I? GPS. I am lost. Your coordinates and addresses. I'm gonna get it. It's here. I'm gonna grab that. Because why the fuck wouldn't I? Let's have a look. I am lost. Get.
What it links out to is an app called I Am Lost. And it's a...
Yes, I am lost.
Now, that wasn't a philosophical statement. And it's a geolocator app that if you're within... And listen, the way that the description is like, you point it at 3... identifiable landmarks and it triangulates your location.
Your phone has GPS.
It's just a GPS.
Okay, that downloaded really fast. We're in, boys. Okay, allow where am I to access your location? Well, okay. Wait a second. The whole point of this app is it's going to tell you where you are when the GPS isn't working. But that means you have what is this app? Just hang on. Okay, allow access. Yeah, allow while using app. Sure. Don't send me notifications. Thank you. It's good to know I can make $900 a day though. That is good to know. I'm gonna have to blur this out because it's showing where I am. Well, actually, it's not, but it's close enough. He states that anyone can easily become rich. You can make $900 a day. Okay. So this is just a map app, I guess. It literally just shows you where you are.
But your phone has
no,
GPS.
But you open it and it just shows you where you are on a map.
Wait, so... But
That's what it does. That's all it does.
But
But
No, no,
Google
no.
Maps exists.
No, that's the only feature.
What?
Yeah, it just shows you where you are.
Is it one of those like fake like X-ray like phone? Use your phone to X-ray your hand.
No, there's no gimmick.
There's no gimmick.
That's the feature, and it serves you ads. I don't know.
Wait, who downloads that kind of thing?
Me, at like 11:30 on a Sunday.
Wait, how many? Do you know how many like downloads it had?
Like 400.
Okay, so it's
Okay.
Yeah, it's not.
That's within the error margin of just it's been scraped by bots and
Yeah.
no one else.
And also me. I was the 398th one. You know
Right,
what I
yeah.
mean?
Oh my god.
And so I downloaded. I'm like, this isn't anything. But it's real software, and so I immediately deleted it from my phone because I was like, this seems bad for me.
Yeah,
to
why
have
did
on
you
it.
install it on your phone?
What's up?
I mean, well, from a software engineer perspective, iOS is reasonably secure.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, it's pretty robust. Also,
Going to a website is generally more dangerous than downloading an app these days, just because apps are like so heavily sandboxed.
also like
And Apple fucking
Apple especially.
from the perspective of someone that has had to get an iOS app approved, they do a lot of stuff and they go through a lot of tests.
Again, we've lost the line about podcasts.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad that you guys have put more thought into it than I did before installing it. Because I went, fuck it, if it bricks my phone, I'll just throw it off the balcony. I don't give a fuck at this point.
If
Right.
If it
It's a good
bricks
excuse.
People's phones, Apple wouldn't let them put it on the store. So
Unless it was just ripping bots' phone. Do bots have phones? I don't, anyway, that's a question for another day. So now, at this point, I've hit a dead end because there's no other indicators from this app that are going to point you back to tennis software. So I bite the bullet and I click on podstatus.com.
Oh god.
Oh no.
All right, we're gonna do it. This has got to be a way to sell ads, but we're gonna check it out. Podstatus.com. I'm not sure what's gonna happen. Okay, this website uses cookies. You bet it does, dog. Okay, yeah, sure. All right, review and rank of your podcasts. Not review and rank your podcast of your podcasts. A podcast. You can only have one. Monitor reviews for all of your podcasts. Okay, now it's multiple. It doesn't. All right. Track your ranks hourly in 175 countries, daily in your inbox. This looks like a startup company website. I like this looks like something I would design. Let's check out the quality of the code, boys. This is for us nerds out there. Let's see. Are we doing... It's all CSS, so it's maybe built in... It's a Google Tag Manager. Yeah, okay, yeah. Row items. Okay, so it's using... probably, I'm going to guess Squarespace based on that button design. I don't know if it's going to tell me that anywhere. No, podstatus.com/marketing. Doesn't seem to be immediately identifiable. But like this is quite a like out of the shelf piece of kit here. Anyone could put this together. I like the GIF though. I think that's subtle. It tells you that it's a real product. Like you can see them navigating through the app. With the weirdest locations as countries they've selected there. Features your podcast under control, the tools you need to monitor your podcast, know your listeners, and get more downloads. 1, reviews. 10 reviews into useful feedback with automatic review collection and detailed filters. Yeah, this seems to be the only thing it does do, though. Like, this isn't a 1, 2, 3 list. This is like, it just collates podcast reviews. And if you have a podcast, you know how hard it is to get reviews. Like, you don't need them collated. You'll see them because they happen so rarely. Chart analytics. Analyze your podcast position over time in the Apple Podcast and iVoox charts every hour. I don't. It's a real website.
Oh, really?
And it's a boring Squarespace template.
And
And it looks like every other software company's website.
Right.
But the thing that strikes me is, and imagine with me, if you will.
Yeah.
You'll see it on screen watching this. I don't know. I've said that to you. I'm talking to you guys. Imagine with me.
Wow.
Wow.
Look at it go.
It's wow.
Look
Look
at
at
it
it go
scroll past.
Wow.
Whee.
It
All right.
Thank you for making extra work for me. But basically like the thing that struck me was all the copy was pretty generic. It was like Podstatus tells you how your podcast is going in different countries or whatever.
Right.
And like nothing about it struck me as particularly unusual. And the thing that struck me was the images that went along with it weren't just like from like undraw.com. They were actual screenshots of like a dashboard. Of like a real app.
Of like their dashboard.
Yeah, of their app.
of like Podstatus.
Of Podstatus. And they were showing in-app features. And so I'm suddenly like, what if this isn't a scam? Right? So I called Danielle from Level Story because she was the only one around. And I'm like, listen, Danielle. And she was like, why? It's...
Don't.
I was like, go to bed, bro. Like... And I'm there and I'm like raving drunk and a bit high and I'm like, tell me everything. Why is this a scam? But I show her the email. She's like, this absolutely looks like a scam.
I'm afraid to like, is that a real site? Podstatus?
And I showed her the website and she was like,
This
yeah,
dude's just cold calling people.
right. Which I'm like, not a bad marketing tactic, but like,
But a bit weird.
make your emails look less like spam.
Yeah, maybe.
Like-
maybe work to make them not get caught by Google.
Wait, what? They want my credit card number right off the jump? Okay. I am now preparing to purchase the software. Today's charge is $0, but if I cancel it before November 25th, I'm not going to get charged. This feels like a terrible idea.
Same night, I put my credit card information into this website.
What?
No.
You madman! Why?
Didn't.
Okay.
So this guy has my credit card information, so I have to remember that if in the future.
Yeah. You heard it
Yeah.
here.
And I've purchased Podstatus.
Damn it.
Wait, so what is it? Was
It's a
it
subscription service.
Wait, how much did it cost you?
It was a $5 monthly fee.
okay? Well, that seems reasonable for a joke.
Yeah, but now I'm scared because this guy's got my credit card info.
You didn't.
Well, no, well,
If you're gonna do
okay.
stuff like that, at least get a fucking burner credit
I was
card.
going to, but I was too drunk to think of it.
first of all, burner would have been a
Damn it.
good
Yeah, I
idea.
was going to use security.com and credit, or even PayPal, but it
Second of all, so
it was too hard.
when you say you gave them your credit card details, did you go through was it like through
It
PayPal?
was through like a Stripe interface.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that I know what he's going to do with them.
No, but it means you're not. So again,
Yeah, but you don't know what I'm going to do
perspective.
next, is all I'm saying.
Oh God. Okay, continue.
So I purchase, and I've got like a 5-day free trial. So he hasn't charged me immediately, which is
Funny. Okay. Few things. First of all, this image up here is from undraw.com. I work in software. I've seen this 1,000 times. So this is like not from an empty state perspective. That's probably not a good thing. It's also probably horrifically nerdy that I knew that immediately, but I guarantee it'll show up in the search term. Yeah, it's the first image. Just for comparison, just to give you guys a bit of a peeky poo at that one. Cool. It's right there. So I don't have any podcasts yet. Well, I have a few, but that's very judgy of you. To start using Podstatus, add your podcast or those of your competitors. Oh, you can track other people's reviews. Interesting. You fill the search form and click on search. You can start by entering any of the following data of the podcast. Okay, so I've been like having a look for a while at this. I haven't clicked on anything. I'm trying to organize getting on the phone with James, but two things. Aside from this just being like clearly an asset where they've tied it to their theme, and I wonder if this is like a CSS framework they've just downloaded. Also, like the image isn't coded properly. You can see it's like overlapping at the top there. Artists search. Oh, we actually showed up. It's the wrong cover image, but we're actually there, and it's really the twist of today. Does this work? This might actually work. Add. Okay, interested to you. Well, okay. So what they've done is they've built an integration to just Apple Podcasts, and then I guess and Podchaser. Wait, Podchaser has reviews? None. No, I don't have any. Wait, profile. Let's have a look. I've never heard of it. I assume we don't have reviews on Podchaser I don't know about. Wait, what? It knows that Gabe was a guest? This is creepy. How did it work that out? Add create. Wait, does it mean someone added him manually? This is... Lost it... Wait, hang on. Danielle follows me on Podchaser? What the fuck is Podchaser? Is this a thing that everyone knows about that I don't? It might be. About your daily source of podcast discovery, built with love for podcast listeners and creators. I'm going to have to email Danielle now. What?
So, I'll be upfront. I don't use it very often, but Podchaser, as I understand it, is kind of just a way to stream podcasts, but it's also a place where you can leave reviews. If you are a podcaster, you can make playlists of different podcasts that you've worked on. You can add profiles there. So, like for a podcast I do, my co-host and I, Brittany, we add, like, we have our own little profiles for each episode that we worked on, and you can give credits, like who edited it, who was featured on the episode,
Okay.
and stuff like that. So it's a bit more in depth than your typical podcast website, as far as I can tell.
Okay. Either it actually works and my podcast is currently rated 187th in Russia today, or it's a scam and they just know that I'm going to search for my own show, but everything else looks accurate. Also, I don't know why it's pulling the old cover image, but that's neither here nor. So I'm going to try and contact Carlos because I think that's the next logical step. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit support. I'm going to say, hi, Carlos. I received your email about my podcast ranking 100. Wasn't it? 87th.
No, so knowing that my credit card details are in this platform, I hit the request help button and I write to Carlos because he was the guy that sent me the email. So I'm assuming he owns it.
You're like, hey, Carlos.
And I was like, hey, Carlos, I'm really impressed with your product. And I was excited by the fact you said we 187th in Russia. I'll put up the email on screen. When you rewatch this, I literally said I was excited we were 187th in Russia. I sound like a bot.
In the arts category in Russia. This is very exciting. I'd love to speak to you either via email or on a voice call to discuss your platform. I'm very impressed already. Regards, David McNeil. Submit. Cool. So I've just signed my life away. That's great. I'm gonna go to bed, but let's see if Carlos gets back to me.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah, beep boop. I am podcast man
So-
38.
So I go, Carlos, my guy, I would love to chat to you about what this is. And I slip in there with no threat of hope this is going to happen. I'm like, we'd love to chat to you about it either via email or video call.
Oh no. Did you get to see
God.
Carlos?
We are 187th in Russia.
Wow, just like you said. Like,
But I'm like, how the hell
Ah.
does he know that? Do you know what I mean? Like, where does that information come from?
Yeah.
So naturally, I went to support and I got in contact with Carlos. So I wrote Carlos a message.
So the following Monday, I sat down on Zoom
No.
and I spoke with the owner of Podstatus.com.
What the heck?
He was like just a really nice guy who was keen to talk to me, and it completely threw me. Because I had on my notepad like this list of like hard-hitting journalist questions I was going
Right.
to ask him. Because I was like, well, like how did like you got my email address and you emailed me from an email service. Like there are a lot of like reasons that you can't do that because you're basically scraping. Like there's that you can't build emailing lists like that.
No.
But I got on the phone with him and he was just so nice that I couldn't do journalism.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the thing with the rankings and the reviews and the thing, because I have no podcast, so I am not podcaster. I have a lot of friends that have podcasts, and I have my microphone, and I always tell that I will do a podcast and everything, but I never have the time for that. But I am professionally, so I am freelancer iOS developer,
Okay.
and I do apps.
Yep.
And I use this kind of services for my apps. So to check the rankings, to check the reviews, etc.
Okay. Yep.
And I did a little app for me only, so for apps. and I was thinking, should I launch this? But I was checking the market, and there was so many services like that, App Figures or App Annie, lot of. And when I started with Podstatus, so I realized that the store for the podcast, the Apple Podcast, is basically the same of the App Store. So there is the same algorithms, the same kind of reviews, the same APIs, everything. And I was looking if there was some service for podcasters doing the same that Apple does. So showing you the rankings and sending you a nice daily mail. There was no. So I thought, oh fuck, this is a very nice product I can ship here.
Absolutely.
This is basically the thing. So I was a very power user of this, but for apps. But basically, in the ground is the same for apps and podcasts. So it's a product you ship, and people can review, people can rate, etc. And there is rankings. So this is how
That's pretty cool.
how this works.
Yeah. So you just saw the gap, and you were like, So did you already have?
But to basically, I chatted to him for a good 30 minutes. And he just seemed like a really nice guy. No red flags for me.
The rankings is absolutely complex. So I started Podstatus only with reviews. And already there was, I think, 1 or 2 services that was fetching the reviews for podcasts. My app reviews and Podrover, I think. But none of these services has rankings. So I thought, fuck, I have to put rankings here. I want to tell you one thing. So I work normally with German people.
Okay.
So I will mix German and English for sure.
That's okay. That's okay.
So
I don't speak German, but I'll let you know if I miss something.
If I start to speak German, please stop me, okay? Because the problem is with this, with my colleagues in Germany. So I am freelancer for German companies. I make finance app for app. So I mix German.
Why
and English
specifically
continuously.
Germany? Was that just the way it does that on purpose, or that just kind of happened?
Why in Germany? Because I was living in Germany for 7 years. So I was there when I was studying in the university. I was there 2 years in Erasmus. You know what is Erasmus? It's a university program.
Yeah.
So you can make 1 year. So I was studying in Granada,
Got
here
it.
in Spain, in the Informatic University. And then I finished the informatic engineering there in Germany. I was 2 years, and then after that I was looking for a job, and I found a very nice one in Germany, so I moved 5 years more
That
there.
makes sense.
And then I came back to Spain, and of course all my contacts are there because I was all my life working in Germany since I finished the university.
Right.
So I am living in Spain, and now
There was in the background was like a picture of his loving family and shit.
Oh my god!
And I have never felt worse in my entire life. But I thought it would make a good story.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah. So I don't know how to feel about all of it.
Sorry, I interrupted you. You were explaining the rankings and why that was difficult, I guess.
yeah, the thing with the ranking is that I have to fetch so many data, so because so I cannot fetch the ranking of your podcast, so I have to check all the rankings for all the podcasts in the world.
Oh, wait.
Yes.
Okay. That seems very complicated.
Yeah, and then you have to. So I save everything in a database, and you have to show the data. Basically, so to show the data of your podcast, I need to fetch millions and millions of data per hour.
Wow.
This is how I do.
That seems like that would be resource. It's like does that use like a lot of resources? Like, is it resource intensive? Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. But that was my journey. So
Was it
podstatus.com.
You
I
need
said
to
that and I spiked the lens, dude.
you need to get some sponsorship. money
I'll
for
hit
this.
Carlos up. We're pals now.
Yeah.
Hashtag not sponsored, but it is a real product and it does work. And I feel like we all learned something from this.
I was like looking forward to like some dirty scam ring. It just came away with just like, oh,
It was wholesome. I hate it. Yeah.
it's just rather nice.
I'll bring you a real scam next time.
All
Sorry,
right,
Ben.
cool.
Sorry they didn't steal my money with my credit card details, Ben.
It was a little sketchy when you immediately
Yeah.
decided to put your credit card
Yeah,
details
that
into
was
this
a bit-
website.
It was like 10 minutes flat. Like, it was really quick. Like, because I did my research, but then I was like, fuck it. It'll make for good video content.
Yeah.
And I've got $1,000 limit on that card. So I was like, what's the most he can steal?
$1,000.
$1,000. So yeah, that's my story. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Thank you for bearing witness to my mistakes.
Thank you for bearing your mistakes for us to witness.
Yeah. Also, hit me up, Carlos.